The unexpected manga from the legendary content creator coryxkenshin has broken the internet. An unexpected return from the GOAT after a whole year, and he decides to create an amazing visual that has left us all intrigued. Now regarding the manga, I got some words for you, Cory. First of all, I absolutely hate this manga, and I will give you my one reason as to why I hate it. Listen, Cory, and listen real well. I hate this manga because why is it only one volume, man? I need more. And I need more as of yesterday. Bravo to you, dog, because this is an amazing manga, and I cannot wait to get my analysis and review of this manga. Anyways, my name is Bugzey, and here is my analysis and review of coryxkenshin's manga, Monsters We Make. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. One of my favorite aspects of Monsters We Make are the character designs and the art styles. It was the first thing that popped out to me as I read the manga. I ended up reading the manga on January 9th at 2:30 a.m. and ended up going to sleep at 4:30 when I finished. This is how much I enjoyed the manga, but more importantly, was that locked in because of the visuals and story. We are introduced to three characters by the name of, actually, before I speak on that, Cory. Thank you for crediting Akira Toriyama for being an influence on the manga and your life personally. Back to the analysis. The three students we see entering the store are drawn in a fantastic art style that is modernized well. Immediately, I was drawn to Kaylee's art style, assuming she is a black character. This is one of the best designs I've ever seen. The eyes, the earrings, the hair, and body type have been drawn so aesthetically pleasing. The first leaker or monster we see in the store is at first drawn as a nerd, but then quickly turned into a terrifying and evil figure. KB was also drawn very well, and the mask looked great on him. Later we see him cut in half, and man, it looked absolutely horrifying in a good way because the art depicted it very well. Now to talk about my favorite character artistically wise, Jabari Booker. Jabari's character design is easily one of my favorites of all time. One of the best depictions of a black person with long braids. Maybe I have a bias because my own OC and my appearance in real life is similar to Jabari's. Regardless, seeing the details in his long box braids is one of my favorite things because it shows that black hairstyles can be drawn in a manga. Then the detail of the hair tie, and man, there are so many things regarding the hairstyle I can go into detail about. Regarding his drip, easily one of the best dripped characters in the manga. In fact, everyone in the manga has amazing drip, and the hairstyles look great on all characters. This includes September, Liam, Han, and Alicent. Even Miss Pierce got the Goku Vegeta winter coat from the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. That shit looked hard as hell. September is easily my second favorite character in the manga based on design and characteristics that we can get into later. I absolutely love her hair. The attention to detail is something that I will continue to rant and rave about. Regarding the art style, as a reader, you can tell the mood very easily of the manga. In the beginning, we are introduced to New Eden, and it feels cold and gloomy based on the line of work. The details of the rain and the darker clouds make it very evident that it is cold. To conclude, regarding the character design and artistic aspect, this manga is supreme to none and one of the best looking mangas I've ever seen, up there with Akira Toriyama in my personal opinion. The plot of Monsters We Make is very easy to follow, and I think will lead to a good series. The story begins in New Eden, which is the result of a darkness that occurred 17 years ago. No light, no electricity, no world order for 2 whole weeks. If that occurred now, it would be a crazy thing to see and live in. From the first page, the highest building is Sonata Corporation, a company that specializes in tech, pharmaceuticals, and education, aka the most advanced company in the world. Most importantly, Sonata is the hope of mankind. As I was reading this the first time, I did not immediately think that Sonata Corp could be the evil that caused New Eden to exist in the first place. 3 hounds are killed by a leaker in the first few pages of the manga. The hounds are students who end up getting chosen to go on missions to track down these leakers. It was gruesome, and those poor kids were consumed by fear. The leaker destroyed them in a way that was horrifying to say the least. Fast forward, we see Jabari going to the school and put through a test to see where he will be placed. Assuming this is with a squad that will carry out the objective of eliminating leakers and restoring peace and order to the world. At this point, I was enthralled within the manga and started speculating on what could happen next. We are definitely getting the buildup of Sonata Corp being the reason for New Eden, depending on if the series continues. Once Jabari joins Alpha Team is when shit started to get real. Madame Deem is an interesting character because she appears to be an asshole who just wants to get the job done. However, I believe there is more to her character. When she called Jabari a good boy for sitting down as instructed, I knew that it should have been me instead. We see members of Team Alpha go to find the leaker and that they have been tracking. However, the detectives found him first and things went bad for both of them. One of them is killed in action while the other one is mortally wounded, and we do not know his status once the manga ends. The members of Team Alpha engage the leaker and it looks like we are about to lose the team already until Jabari comes into the show. In typical fashion, later than ever, just like Goku, Jabari ends up using his max strength, which is not normal for someone who goes on their first mission. Liam is surprised that Jabari's heart did not explode once he went max strength. The leaker ends up going down to the city that was built on top of it, and this is where things get interesting. According to Han, there were quick escape tunnels that were built for the wealthy. It appeared that New Eden was called Eden until the Eternal Knights and the power at B ended up burying a few districts to remind the people without light, they have the power. I am curious if the wealthy or even Sonata Corp were doing experiments and things went wrong that night. There are so many different theories that I have regarding what and how the Eternal Knights happened. Fast forward, we see Jabari and the rest of the team going to the city to look for the leaker. Han and Jabari end up finding Dave, the person who sent out the SOS, and then they are told over their headset that Ali has engaged the leaker. We find out that each member of the team has a tuning, which is a specialty. A tuning could be strength, premonition, sound, and tech, which are the tunings the members of Team Alpha have. Ali is in a bad spot, but she locks in per usual and stalls long enough for the rest of the team to get there. Jabari does one more final move with his sound and we see the human face of the leaker. Liam cuts off his head and everything is over. Jabari is now a part of the team and understands the role he plays at that moment. Lastly, they end up going to dinner to talk and eat food. I don't know, but it seemed like Ali might like Jabari a little bit, but doesn't want to admit it, based on her calling him a pretty boy with a pretty boy spirit. Oh, Ali, I am very familiar with your game. Ali ends up piecing up Jabari a little bit. Then the group ends up taking a team picture. The picture is so wholesome and is a great ending to the manga. Lastly, we see a hooded figure with a glove looking at Jabari through a security system, saying, "So that's Eden's new prodigy." I don't know why, but the hooded figure reminds me of Dr. Doom, and in the monitor screen, we see a few no signals, which means the cameras are done. We also see the NEPD, a few stores, and it looks like the image of the buried city. And that's the end of the manga. In conclusion, I think coryxkenshin and his staff cooked up an amazing manga and a potential anime. I cannot wait to see the development of this manga and believe it will be successful. I heard criticism about how the story is very similar to Kaiju number 8, which I'm not familiar with. I'm talking very highly about this manga because I believe it can succeed. The art direction, plot progression, and characters are going to be what carries this manga. I like everything regarding the manga. I would rate this a high 9.5 and damn near a 10. The only complaint that I do have is that we don't have a second volume ready to go, which is fine at the end of the day. Of course, it says to be continued, so I expect a second volume or a second chapter to come out in the near future. Anyways, for those who were on edge or wasn't sure if they should buy the manga, you definitely should. Thank you coryxkenshin for this amazing manga, and I cannot wait to see the second chapter or volume of Monsters We Make. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you later, Space Cowboy.